Y'all been pooping in your water too. Good morning, y'all. Andrew here, Funky Feathers Homestead. And today, it's time to do the last little bit of lawn maintenance for the year. The grass is pretty much done growing for the season, but I need one more cut to make it nice and even. And I could use a little bit more grass clippings for the compost pile and for the chickens in the back. But speaking of chickens, I have to unload some feed from the back of the truck and get it out to their bin because we've run out of the old stuff and it's time to put new in. So start with that. Alright, so this was the stuff that we picked up from the Homesteaders of America conference. It's the feed that we used when we were back up in Virginia, and the chickens really like it. The egg quality is just that much better. I tell people all the time, don't feel guilty if you can't afford the super special non-GMO, non-soy, whatever feed. Give them the best you can. Just give them the best you can. You don't have to feel guilty. They don't need the bougie food, because no matter what you give them, no matter what level of food you give them, the eggs are still going to be way better than anything you get out of a commercial plant. That's a fact. Booper the jumpy chicken. You hungry? So you might have noticed I don't really measure when I feed the chickens. Part of that's because it varies day to day, kind of what I feed them. The baseline is 1/3 of a pound a chicken per day. Since I have 20 chickens running in there, they should average about 7 pounds a day. But actually I only end up feeding them half of that because they do have forage that they eat from. And I try to dial in on a regular basis how much forage versus how much feed I should give them. And that varies on the time of year. The next question is, how do you know that they're getting enough? Well, one, chickens have this thing called a crop. It sticks out on the left side of their chest, and you can tell when that's full. It's very distinct. It kind of hangs out, right? So when I come out here, usually 2 to 3 times a day, I take a look at each of them and make sure that I can see that their crop is full. Now, if you have a lot of chickens and you can't look at each one individually, you can usually tell by their egg production. So if you're usually getting 18 eggs a day and you start rationing out the feed and dialing it back, and all of a sudden you're getting 12 a day, you know that they're not getting enough feed. And you simply scale it back up until your production is there. And once it's there, you know exactly how much to feed them. Now, it being fall and the days getting shorter, the egg production is starting to back off anyway. So I have to rely more on the visual signs to make sure that they're fed. And they'll let you know when they're hungry. When you come out, they'll all clump up by the net and they'll tell you, hey, it's time for a snack. When they're young, I usually free feed them for about the first 12 weeks, like our chicks over here in the shed. They have food in front of them 24 hours a day for the first 12 weeks. But at a 12-week point, I'm going to move them in with the main flock anyway, so they'll be getting the same amount of ration. But of course, adding more chickens, I have to add the ration. Now, it sounds super complicated when I say it like this, but it becomes intuitive after a fashion. We've been doing this for about a year now, and no one's starving to death. They're all growing, and I don't have any fat hens yet. So I can see from here that they just knocked over their food dish, which is a good sign that they're out. So I'm gonna go take care of them, refill their water, and then I'm gonna get started on this mowing. Oh gosh, y'all been pooping in your water too. Watch out. And 4.5 hours later, job is complete. Last time I'll have to mow until April, hopefully. We have a few things that we need to do as far as the winter maintenance. This pampas grass needs to be cut down so it doesn't overgrow. And we have a few spots, like right here, which were gigantic fire ant mounds that have just gone dormant, and all the grass and stuff has grown up on it. I actually didn't knock this one down earlier because there was a really beautiful morning glory vine that was growing on it. It was, I don't know, it's pretty, so I kept it. But now that that's gone, I think it's time to remove it. I think that's gonna just about do it for me today. I gotta go inside and cook dinner. Hope y'all enjoyed this video. If you haven't, like, subscribe, share if you feel like it, and we'll see you on the next one. Bye.